Long-time owner tests the new model. That is how it is. It is honestly a mix of pain and pleasure. Today, the Zeekr. One gets an update. We're taking a close look at the newly released upgraded model to see what is changed. Let's start with the exterior. See what's changed. Not much. Looks different. The biggest front change is the lower grille. Before, the chrome strips inside were slanted. Now they've switched to a horizontal layout. You might not notice it much on this black car. But if the car's a lighter color, it is way easier to spot. The front appears wider and sits lowest. Beyond that, the rear is a small shark fin behind the roof. It is gone. Used to be by the mirror, now moved to the rear. There are also updates on the mirrors and under the taillights, blue accent, lights installed, bracket, light fitted, new body color. Ours is black. Now there is like the 007 GTs, purple, stunning design, ideal for women, available in nebula gray. The color looks especially deep and captivating. The exterior still earns my approval. Let's move to the interior. Just looking around, it seems like the design and layout. No major changes. Only when seated here, you start to notice there are actually a lot of changes. Take the center armrest, for example, the position. Width is revised, sits slightly lower. I remember the old shifter spot. My hand would rest here. Now, the level has decreased slightly. In fact, all the controllers are integrated here. IT replaces the previous storage compartment. No more just a panel now. Leans toward the 007G and the shifter's position. Now the gear indicator is shown on a digital screen and the wood trim along the sides, plus several panels finished in piano black, even around the buttons. What I really care about. On the old 001, wireless charging required placing your phone sideways. Only one phone up front. Charge here. Now, charge two devices. No more fighting over charging ports. Regarding the screen, whether size or chipset, unchanged. Still 8295p. Now on Zeekr OS 7, I'll need some time to get used to how it operates. The interior features, new color options, and updates. Plus, you notice there's now a dedicated track mode available. You can really play around with it. Any other changes? Just check up front. It used to feature Yamaha audio. Now it's equipped with Zeekr Sound Max. The car packs 29 speakers. Output tops 4,600 or even 4,800 watts. Is this figure actually higher than the Zeekr 9X? Now in the back seat, what is the car's size? And the space inside hasn't really changed, but why am I talking about this from the back seat? Now it features Zeekr 9 seats. The Zeekr 001 offers generous rear space. With these seats, everyone wants to drive. If I had the choice, I'd ride in the back and this so-called rear entertainment screen. It is really just a control panel. The screen's bigger than before and it is wider too, but I don't really use it much. Simply wake up Eva and let it handle the adjustments. So, what's the one thing I'm truly jealous of? Look up, can you spot it? A meteor just streaked across the sky. Look! Now they offer a panoramic starlight headliner. There is no sunshade, but you do get a panoramic roof with a starlit sky effect. You can even pick your zodiac sign on the display. Like, say I am a Virgo, it pops up a Virgo icon for you. Picture this, lying in the back at night, in an Eames chair, watching Little Meteors and making a wish. That is comfort. With this car, I just can't hold back anymore. This car used to have an 800V system. Now features a 900-volt architecture with 900 volts. The motor is upgraded. My last car was an AWD model. 207 kilowatts up front, 301 kilowatts in the back. Motors. Now, the rear motor is different. Front handles, straight line power with a 310 kilowatts front motor, rear 370 kilowatts. Motor with this setup, down from over 3 seconds. Now does 0 to 100 in 2.8. And you can definitely feel the difference behind the wheel. In sport mode, the 001 in sport mode, just a slight touch on the accelerator. You could still feel a pretty obvious lag. That's why sporty mode was added in a previous update. But now in sport mode, just tap the pedal. Immediate response. Immediate response cord not needed. That's just the power. What about the chassis before? Air suspension and CCD. CCD was mainly linked to air suspension. All models now feature standard CCD.
air suspension is also upgraded to dual-arm actuators. Honestly, the steering feel always gave me a real headache. My old Zeekr 001 had a solid hydraulic feel. Now, the steering feels noticeably lighter and easier to handle. Feels closer to the Zeekr 007 GT. And since they retuned the chassis, it doesn't feel as bulky as it used to. It feels even nimbler. The previous 001 offered 60% luxury with 40% dedicated to sporty dynamics, which now achieves the ideal balance. 50-50. Any updates to the 900V platform? It is the battery. The 95 kWh battery is now gold brick. Battery now 103 kWh. Pure electric CLTC up to 811 kilometers. Charge rate jumps to 12C, 10 to 80% at a charging station. You can fully recharge in 7 to 8 minutes. Annoying. Earlier, all 7 GTs had double laminated glass. Now, bubble, laminated, thicker than the 7 GT thicker seal. The 007 GT's double laminated glass felt about as thick as the single layer glass on the 001, but I have to mention the tire noise. It still goes. That hasn't changed. So I've got to be fair. I've reviewed all the updates. Overall, there are aspects I like and some downsides. What I can accept. The center armrest design sits lower now. The center console gets minor changes. Overall, the seating position is different. It sits higher than the previous model. But more importantly, I think about the things I notice right away. Chassis tuning, steering feel. Even now, CCD comes standard. Back then, that wasn't an option. And for the battery, the 95 kW upgrades to gold brick battery. Upgraded to 103 kWh, 12C charging rate. My last car had an 800V system, which really surprised my colleagues. Right now, if you're charging at a high-speed station, 10 to 80% charge in 78 minutes. Impressive. Honestly, I feel kind of bad saying this. This is the only car I hope doesn't get cheaper or even stay the same.